And does the finish take some of the gloss off it, or are you quite content with what happened?
We could sit here and be a little critical of our finish, being 2 goals 6 instead of 5 goals straight, but we had numerous opportunities again in the last quarter, and to North Melbourne, they were going for it. You know, they didn't come over here to have a close loss, I wouldn't have thought, with their week that they were faced with, so they really challenged us for a period in the last quarter, but I think we had enough opportunities ourselves.
Do you think you took the foot off the gas? Or
No, I don't think that. As I said, we kicked 2 goals 6. I think we didn't finish as well as we should have. We kicked a number of points again.
Did you sort of try a couple of things that last quarter when the flow was going against you, or did you just sort of hope the players could sort of figure it out themselves?
Oh no, yeah, we did certain things, but it was more what North were able to get going themselves. They got a bit of run and gun going and took it to us and scored. As I said, they kicked really straight where we kicked inaccurately.
Overall, though, pleased with the performance tonight?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because we sit here today 4-2. Not sure there'd be many people saying that at the start of the year, that we'd be getting through this period of the season. We'd love to be 6-0, but we understand how hard the contest is and how hard the games can be to play. So, you know, when you get through and you win, backing up off the Perth game as well, was a significant performance.
A couple of players that have been sort of in and out of the side, Sam Gray and Dougal Howard this season. Very good for you tonight. Yeah,
outstanding, weren't they? I mean, Bogey won the medal and worthy winner, but Grubb was pretty close, I reckon, to second. So that's Sam, sorry. He was pretty close, and Dougal was really strong for us. And, you know, with Jonas out, that's what a young backline, you know, have a look at the age of that backline tonight was pretty significant.
When did you realise Tommy wasn't going to come up?
This morning, 11 o'clock. That's pretty accurate information, isn't it? When the doc rang me.
Is it just a 1 week thing?
Yeah, it should be. But you know, who knows? It's soft tissue, so you've got to be a little bit careful.
So you would have had him penciled in for Brown, did you? Or?
Part of our defence, we certainly had him, which part of that would mean he would spend significant time on Brown. But I thought, as I said, you know, Dougal and Tom Cleary and them boys down there did a great job.
Half time, I think you were plus 26 up, contested possession. That sort of set it up for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and that's a great spot to start, isn't it? When you win the contested ball, it certainly gives you the best opportunity to put the ball where you want it. And for us, we're really strong. Equally in the third quarter, North Melbourne's response in that area was pretty significant too. So, you know, we were able to get away at the end of the game and win the game that we needed to.
Coming off a big win against West Coast last week, you know, there might have been times in the last couple of seasons where, you know, Port Adelaide might have dropped the ball against an opponent many people might have considered to be a lesser opponent. But obviously tonight you got the win. Do you think that shows a bit of maturity and a bit of improvement with this group? It's
a really hard one because I don't want to disrespect the question, but we don't think like that from internally. We don't look at those games and say they're games we should and shouldn't win. We look at every game the same, and you know, we understand the difficulty of this competition. So, you know, that's an outside opinion, and it's, you know, I can only respect the opinion, but we do our best every week to make sure we play our best footy.
Ken, the depth of your midfield is so impressive this year. I mean, you've got Brad Ebert playing forward, Robbie Gray hasn't done a lot in there, Pep's not killing it, but you've just got so many other guys that are doing roles. And do you feel like you've really reinvented it in the middle a bit?
Oh, I think, you know, Scully and Tomo have done a good job of putting a number of people through there, and that was one of their thoughts at the very start of the pre-season, was to keep our midfield explosive and you know, put numbers through there to help us do that. So that certainly is been a bit of a nice thing to have a look at throughout the games when you've got new people going into the middle all the time.
The move Brad forward's just a success already in 6 weeks.
Yeah, well, give us the whole season. But Brad was always going to be, you know, competent football wherever he played. You know, whether that's in the midfield, whether that's out in the wing where he went tonight for moments, and whether that's in the forward line, he just gives him complete effort, which is what you love about him.
Did you think at the start of the season, or even the pre-season, when you decided to put Travis Boak back in the midfield, that he'd have this sort of impact that he's having so far?
No, I was hoping. But I think, look, there's a bit to be said about Trav, you know, stepping down from the captaincy and having some freedom and all those things. I think they do play a significant part into the player that he's played like this year, but he's been back in the midfield. He's had pretty significant seasons in the past, and I think we have missed him a little bit because he hasn't dominated with such large numbers, but at the moment he's been pretty powerful.
I know this one's just done and dusted, but you must already be looking forward to next Friday night, Collingwood, Melbourne. Is it a good test to see where you're at?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Let's enjoy tonight. It's a good victory, but we'll move on to Collingwood pretty quickly, and we understand we're playing probably nearly the best team in the competition next week. We look forward to the challenge.
One of the biggest games we've had in a while, you know, 4-2 against the, you know, last year's grand finalists. another Friday night game as
Again,
well?
they're all, for us, they all seem big. It doesn't matter whether it's, of course, where Collingwood are and, where we've positioned ourselves now, it makes it a little bit more exciting. But I think we always look forward to playing Collingwood because we know how good they are as a football club. So we look forward to it after tonight.
What were your thoughts on the Port supporters tonight? There's been a bit of talk this week, obviously, in terms of booing players. Jasper Pittard and Jared Pollock got a little bit of that. Did you think that was fair game? Or?
I don't even think I should talk about it because I don't think that's not what we're talking about. With the commentary over the last 24 hours, that's not about what happened out for a couple of blokes who returned to their old club. It's good banter, I think, as much as anything. You've seen the response to the boys after the game to both Jasper and and to Jared and even to Aaron Greaves, who's at North Melbourne now. So we think they've been great people for our footy club. We wish them all the best.
And no injuries to come out of tonight, Ken?
No, not as yet. So hopefully there's not, because last week I said the same too. We lost Tommy, so hopefully not. Thanks.
Great, thanks.